My people, it's about that time. Live from the USA, helping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Today, I got a episode where I'm going to be talking about value and how you should be valuing coins, how you should be positioning yourself, how you should be evaluating the options that are extended to you when you look to invest in cryptocurrency. There are thousands of different coins in this world that you can put your money into, but I use a very simple and unique distillation method to get you straight to the source and show you how you can profit as a result of the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of humanity. So, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, also known as the Crypto Trader, and I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice is another day you can profit as a result. Today is no exception, so ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's go ahead and make this money. If you haven't done it yet, make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, turn your notifications on. It tells YouTube this is high quality content you get value from, and my goal is to educate as many people as possible on this blockchain opportunity, so that, you know what I'm saying, we can get a lot more millionaires and a lot less a lot of sick and tired people being sick and tired, right? So first things first, we need to define our parameters. I've told you previously on this channel, water is currency, is energy, is the current of the sea. So money is water. Money has properties very, very similar to water. That's actually why they call it a bank, because a river bank controls the source of the water and diverts it inland to various destinations downstream, i.e. trickle down economics, right? Starts at the mountain, ends at a river, and it banks across to different towns and cities along the way. Nonetheless, here we are. Law of conservation of energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Energy may change form, but the total amount remains the same. Wow. Wait a minute. Let's read that again. Again, I'm looking on the right-hand side. Now, keep in mind, they talk about this one right here, energy transferred from the ball to the pin, no energy is lost. Technically, that's not true. There is energy lost between the ball and the floor due to the coefficient of friction, which is exactly why I didn't use that example. And there's static energy held between each of those pins in relative position to itself. It's not a lot, but it does exist, and it most certainly should not be negated. So we go back to this version on the right-hand side with my man electrocuting himself. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Energy may change form, but the total amount remains the same. What did I just tell you that energy was? Replace energy with the word water, and the law still remains true. Let's read it through. Water cannot be created or destroyed. Water may change form, but the total amount remains the same. Right? Let's look at it again. Water may change form, but the total amount remains the same. Water cannot be created or destroyed. It merely transforms from one form to another. Water is energy, is currency, is the current of the sea, is water, right? Now, let's bring them back. Now, we talk about gateway rivers, right? When you look at this map, there's really just one major river flowing all the way through Colombia, right? All the way through South America, from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. But it diverts into many streams, and this map only captures maybe 20 or 30 of them. You can imagine hundreds, if not thousands, of different streams and water channels that this major river diverts into, right? Just imagine when someone gives you $100 bill. That $100 bill can be broken up into 50s, 20s, and 10s. You start spending it. You pass it on to somebody else. Somebody passes it on to somebody else. That currency is dissipated through the economy. Water is irrigated and dissipated through land. I say that to say this. Just as the same as this map only showed you 20 or 30 major rivers, we can start to view the crypto economy as major rivers. Bitcoin is right there on that top right-hand side, Macapa, right? That's Bitcoin, BTC, right? Atlantic Ocean is the dollars, Peru is the blockchain. And Bitcoin is kind of the gateway, the first bridge to bridge dollars into blockchain-based equities. Then you have what's called an exchange, right? Binance is the #1 crypto exchange in the world, point blank, period. I don't imagine that changing anytime soon. Hats off to the people at Binance, the CEO, one of the most respected financial technology gurus in the world, and he's built a very sustainable and legitimate company that allows mainstream adoption and accessibility to many technology products, right? As a result, the market has spoken, and this is kind of the golden boy, the darling of the blockchain. It's made money hand over fist consistently and steadily since inception, right? If you look at the price right now we're up 23,000%. Crazy. Apple ain't gonna get that for you. You know what I'm saying? IBM ain't gonna do that for you. The blue chips, blue stock, white dividends, white collar companies, hell no, they ain't doing it. You better bring your money to the blockchain, you know what I'm saying? So you can level up on them, right? Even at this last run, if you would have just got in 2021, you'd be up 700%. And oh, by the way, that's 700% Bitcoin, right? So say all things being equal, the price of Bitcoin in 2021, I don't want to do that right now. Just let's say you would earn 700% your return in Bitcoin. So if you put in $1,000 of Bitcoin back in 2021, then $1,000 times 700 will give you about almost $8,000 today, right? So every $1,000 you would put in back then would have multiplied by 7.91 for today, right? And that's in Bitcoin. You add 1 Bitcoin in on it, bam, right now you got 7.9, right? That's why I always say measure your trades in Bitcoin. There is a major discrepancy from people that do not understand traditional economics and value differentiation, that they always measure their trades in dollars. And I told you already, the dollar is dead, buy Bitcoin instead. If you measure your value in an asset that is designed to go down in value, the only thing you assure yourself is that you will have less purchase power over time, i.e. inflation, i.e. 65-year-old people still working at Walmart without a retirement fund. It's not because they made a lot of bad decisions in their life. It's all because the dollar that they earned during their working years has been deflated 60 to 70% over the course of their lifetime. And now they have about 1/3 amount of financial power that they thought they should have had when they were projecting their earning power into the future, right? Don't fall into that trap. We have a better option. It's called BTC. Always measure your trades to Bitcoin, right? You see, back in the day, I would have like this setting right here, right? Let me see if I can pull this back up because I got to figure this stuff out. Settings, it was like a watermark right there, right there. Binance to BTC, right? If it don't say BTC right there, you are on the wrong chart. And some of the charts, you can't even measure it in Bitcoin. So you have to be very careful with those charts. Then it's a double correlation because you have to see, okay, what's the chart doing? What's Bitcoin doing compared to the dollar? And what's this chart doing compared to the dollar? And what's the dollar doing compared to Bitcoin? So it's like a double correlation. So a lot of the videos I do, I only use coins measured in Bitcoin because your #1 objective for the rest of your life is to capture as much Bitcoin as fast as possible. I was about to say buy it, but we have a methodology to where we don't even need to spend money. We just got to put our chips on the board when the dealer is hot, and he go double us up, triple us up, multiply it by 7 in about 2 years' time with no worries. That's what the blockchain is designed to do. 60% CAGR for the last 10 years until continual. Right? It just keep going. It's probably gonna be 20-30% by the time I die, but that's still the best performing asset of all time in humanity, right? And most recently measured demographics, right? So always remember, measure it in BTC, and as long as that chart is going up and to the right, that means you are accumulating more Bitcoin over time. Once it goes down and to the left, you are losing Bitcoin over time, right? So that's very, very, very important. I saw all that to say this. When you look at these different assets, this is, or resources, this is cryptobubbles.net, right? It's pretty cool little chart tool. I can give it to you guys. I'll leave it in the comments. You know, it's pretty cool what they've done to visually show like the growth and separation of different assets in the market. But one thing they don't do for you is convert your value of standard to Bitcoin. Again, your job, accumulate as much Bitcoin as fast as possible, point blank, forever, right? Crypto Bubble shows you these trades in dollars. So if you were looking at this thing on a weekly chart, you might say, oh my goodness, well, Ethereum had a pretty good week, right? 6.5%. When in actuality, when we go down and change our currency to crypto, that's a choice now. We have a choice what we value. Look at the economy change accordingly behind it. And now the situation is a lot more dire, right? Very, very, very few assets have outperformed Bitcoin over the past week. And Ethereum is not one of them, right? Because Bitcoin gained 10%, Ethereum only gained 6%. So actually you lost about 4% Bitcoin if you held Ethereum during that exact same time. Right? So again, always measure your asset in something that gains value over time. The dollar loses value over time. So it should only be used in desperation measures and bear economies to conserve your losses, right? Now, we can talk about, well, what are the major bridges from Bitcoin to the rest of the cryptoverse, right? Binance, the first bridge, most liquid exchange. If Binance has an FTX moment, then we're probably fucked for the next 10 years and none of these words matter. Hopefully they don't. I don't think they will. In fact, the CEO of Binance sniffed FTX out a while ago and chose not to do business with them. And I think that got around the crypto economy and actually, you know, circulated through to show what was happening behind the scenes at that company. Otherwise, it could have easily gone for another 5 years, right? The next one, Ripple, XRP. This is a gateway for the CJBs, right? This is Mr. Ripple, Montgomery Burns and company, right? This chart kind of starts to show you that Ripple has been relatively flat for a very, very, very long time, right? If Ripple starts to make money, if we can break out of this cycle. There's some news about the SEC. There's some news about securities. There's some news about whatever it might be. If you see Ripple have a little jump here, then that money is normally going to dissipate into the economy, right? Because it's a lot of people holding Ripple down here, right? And it's a lot of buyers buying Ripple right there, right? So I don't think it's going to go below that bottom line. It's really doing this long range squeeze. It's been getting squeezed between this zone right here for the better part of 2 years, right? And energy is like water. It doesn't like to stay still for very long. It likes to be free. You know what I'm saying? And it like to go back to the source. And so if we can see Ripple break out north of 3,000 Satoshis, you can see a lot of money start to trickle downhill, trickle down economics. Water moves downhill. Money moves from the top down. You can start to see some of that money get dispersed into these other coins. What other coins am I looking at to benefit from the inevitable flow of this water? OKB is going to be the last one. This is used to be OKC, which is one of the top exchanges. This could very well be the next Binance. Look at that jump going up from 2021 all the way to 2023, right? Now, when we look at the slower chart and we break this down into the monthly, then we start to see, okay, this thing has just been making money. This look like Binance's chart, just on a much quicker fractal, right? But if you find that this chart falls, right, below, say, that threshold right there, then it's probably going to catch itself down there. And I should actually freestyle on a Fibonacci for this one. Let's do this real quick. Right? Bam, bam, right? Look at that, look at that, look at that. Can't get no better. Right? If we want to take it up there, we take it up there. We got candle. Yeah, there you go, there you go, there. Look at that, look at that. That's called resonance. Look at that, look at that. Okay, okay. All right. So we coming back down, right? We capped out between the 4.2 and the 4.6. We coming back down, consolidating on the 3.2. We need to stick this landing right here on this 3.2, right? If you see this chart fall below that threshold, well, then it's going to look to catch itself right there. If it falls below that threshold, well, it's going to fall all the way to the 1.6, right? Probably somewhere in there, right? So these are the three levels you need to watch. If OKC can hold north of 1,800 Satoshis, that's very, very good for the blockchain, very, very good for the rest of the economy, very, very good for the crypto space. If it falls, it will consolidate, and that is predicated on another Bitcoin fall. If OKC falls below this level, you can almost guarantee Bitcoin is under 20,000 at that point, because the money is drying up, right? It's like it's running backwards from Peru all the way back to the Atlantic Ocean. That's where the dollar's at, from the source, right? And that's what you got to look for. And so it's like you see these different levels, and I see these different charts, and then I see what's happening in the bigger scheme of things, and I'm like, okay, well, we need to watch Ripple. We need to watch if Ripple runs, the rest of the crypto space is gonna run, right? But that's dependent on the government. Government go decide when they want to let Ripple run, right? Which means the government is deciding when they want to let the rest of the crypto space run, right? It's simple economics. If they build a dam at the top of that mountain and say, I know we had 3 rivers coming down from the top of that mountain. Right now, we only got 2, right? One of them's dammed up, and that mountain is the biggest mountain, top 5 mountain in the world, right? What happens to the water downstream? Nowhere near as much water available. This is very, very, very simple logic. We're just reapplying it and using it in ways that we can understand it, right? Water is currency, is the current of the sea, is energy, right? And so I say all that to say this is a great time to start learning about these processes. This is a great time to start encapsulating new ideas into your mantra. This is a great time to get vested in one of the most successful crypto trading communities available to you free of charge. That is on Facebook right now. #1 Bitcoin group in the world. #1. Just type it in on Facebook. Come on in. The doors are always open. I'm building this website back up. I'm about to start some of the premium trading communities again. Look forward to that. If you are interested, just drop your email in right here, and you will be on the mailing list. I'm making a course too that's going to be available for you this summer, and we go keep it on wheels and keep on rolling, man. Hopefully you learned something from this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Show me some love in the contents. And also, if you think there's other coins that I should be looking out for that could be predicated on the indicative strength of the economy, like, leave that in the comments. Let me know what coins you think I should watch out for. I'll put them on my list, and you just might see them in an upcoming video. So with that being said, everybody, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay, Brazil to Bay or California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss.
Huh.